What's up, guys? We're back with another video. If you are new here, my name is Sammy and we're the Mermaid Gang. This is where you can come suspend your disbelief. I am your favorite manifestation coach and your favorite YouTuber. So, if you would like for me to help you dissolve whatever's between you and your manifestation, go ahead and sign up for coaching with me here or below. Also, if you would like to join my members only on YouTube, there's a link for that also in the description, or there might be a join button on my channel. We will be starting a new challenge on November 1st. I don't know what the challenge is going to be yet. I just filmed my members only Q&A, so hopefully they will give me some ideas and we will vote and decide what is November's challenge. So if you would like to be a part of it and you would like to be able to start on November 1st, you better get signed up by November 1st. Okay. And remember, the Friends tier does all the challenges as well. You get all the challenges. I do check-ins. Sometimes I do like vlog style posts, like pictures of what I've been up to, things that I don't post on social media for the public, stuff like that. And then for the Besties tier, you get all of that, plus you get a Q&A video every month, sometimes two. This month I did a part 2, and then I'm about to post another one for October. So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about what I want to talk about. I know I have filmed so many videos on states. I can't remember the last one I filmed. When did I film the last one on states? It's been a couple months since we talked about states, and clearly I have some new subscribers. What is that? Dry shampoo? Yeah, probably dry shampoo because it's hair wash day. Ignore. Okay. So let's talk about states and how to get into your desired state, how to get into literally any state. It's not hard. I promise it's not hard. It's actually probably the easiest thing ever, and it's actually how manifestation works in general. You are always in a state. So I'm going to lead with that. You are always in a state. Always. You are always in a state, meaning you are always in a reality you have selected via your thoughts, your consistent thoughts and your beliefs. So most of your states are comprised of what you believe, like your core beliefs, your inner beliefs, your beliefs about yourself, stuff like that. But you can change it at any time. Okay? You can always change your state. You can always manifest literally anything you want. You can select any reality you want, any version of yourself. Literally nothing is off limits to you. Nothing. So the way you change your state is you first need to know, what do I want to experience? If it's something specific like an SP or money or success or a house or a job or anything like that, then you are going to select a reality where you have that thing. So you are going to think as the person that has that thing. The entire thing about states and manifesting and what affirmations are is just simply you thinking as the person that has it already. So let's say you want to manifest an SP, right? You can't think the same thoughts that you think now, which, an example, you currently don't have an SP, or you have one, but they don't want to be with you, or they are inconsistent with you. So when you are selecting a version of this relationship, you are currently selecting one that is inconsistent. You are selecting a version of your SP that doesn't want to be with you, or that is hot and cold with you, or whatever the situation may be, right? So instead, you're going to select the version of your relationship that you want. Actually, I'm the love of their life and they will do anything to be with me. They love being with me. I am their favorite person. We have the best, healthiest relationship. You get the point. Money. It is so easy for me to manifest so much money. It is so easy for me to be rich. I'm so good at manifesting money. I always have this amount of money in the bank. My income is constantly growing. Do you see what I'm saying? Or then I find for states, the easiest way though to get into a state, in my opinion, is to think of yourself as the version of you that has that. So this kind of goes back with what Neville says about it all stems from you. Neville used to say that It's basically all about you and how you perceive yourself. He said it in different terms, but you know what I'm referring to. So what he meant, or at least the way I see it, is that there is a version of you that has anything that you desire, right? So there's a version of you that is in a relationship with this SP, and y'all have the healthiest, happiest relationship ever. They literally worship the ground you walk on, okay? Whatever you desire from this. There is a version of you that is a master at manifesting, and you literally get every single thing you affirm for. There is a version of you that can instantly manifest. There is a version of you that can have anyone they want. There's a version of you that literally is rich for no reason. You know what I'm saying? There is a version of you for all these things that you desire. These are just the ones that I'm throwing off randomly. It's different per person because everyone has different desires. So there is a different version of you, meaning those are different states. So if you're in your undesired state right now, that's the version of yourself that you are selecting. You are selecting the version of you that is unlucky, or unlucky in relationships, or doesn't get things they want, or has trouble at work, or always, I've used the reference, always gets stopped in traffic, or things don't go your way. There is a version of you that's the version of you you're currently selecting with your thoughts. You are always selecting something, okay? You're always in a state. You are always selecting something with your thoughts. So you might as well be selecting what you want. So whether it be your overall experience and how things go for you, or whether it be individual little desires. It can be as small as no one ever holds the door for you, or no one ever compliments you. It can be as small as that, or it can be as big as your life freaking sucks. Okay? It can be any of that, because we are always selecting something. So are you selecting the experience that no one ever holds the door for you because you're complaining that no one ever holds the door for you? And then when someone doesn't hold the door for you, you're like, see, I told you no one ever holds the door for me. You're selecting that experience. You're always selecting an experience, aka a state. And when we break this down, this could be a very long video. I'm trying to keep my mind organized, but it's very hard. So I'm going to do my best to try to follow. Okay. So if we're talking many things like that, little experiences, you're always selecting little experiences. You can change those individually. Absolutely. Little things that bother you like that little things that you know bother you like that, you could absolutely start just saying things like, everyone always holds the door for me. Everyone holds the door for me. Or maybe you feel like the less important friend, right? You're everyone's favorite friend. Everyone wants to be your friend. You're so popular. Okay, you need to change those little thoughts that are important to you. They seem small, but they're important to you. You need to change those little things. Those are things you are selecting every time you complain about them. Manifesting is nothing more than you thinking about something a certain way, and so your reality must prove to you that it's that way. Now, when it comes to states, like, I want to say bigger states, such as like unlucky, unwanted, happy, everything goes my way, everything doesn't go my way, those types of states, or even success, relationships, stuff like that, those, I like to say, think of the version of you that you would want to be. So the version of you that has really great luck with everything. Okay, we'll just say everything. So let's talk about the trend lucky girl syndrome, right? These girls were basically affirming. They were changing their state from being unlucky to being someone who is super lucky. So what they're doing is thinking as the version of them that is lucky. Because the thing is about a state, you can't enter a state without thinking from it. You can't get into a state by thinking from another state. So you can't get into lucky state by thinking you're unlucky, because you are thinking from unlucky state. And the experiences that you have in unlucky state are not the same as the experiences in lucky state. So in order to get these experiences and be in this state, you have to think as the version of you that is lucky before you actually get lucky. So this is where I say everything starts with the mind. You can't force yourself into lucky state. You have to think your way into it. So ask yourself, what kind of thoughts would I have if I were lucky? If everything goes my way, what kind of thoughts would I have? That's very easy. You would think everything goes my way. People would probably acknowledge the fact that everything goes your way. You would think that you are so lucky because you would be having all these lucky experiences, right? So you have to, right now, even in unlucky state, you have to think as the version of you that is lucky. The same way if you want to change your body, whether it's you want to gain muscle mass, you're super skinny naturally and you want to get muscle mass and be lean and thicker, or you're overweight and you want to be skinnier. It's the same thing. You can't. Okay, so if you're naturally super skinny, right? You have like no muscle. You're just skinny. But you want lean muscle mass. You can't eat like the person who is naturally super skinny. So you can't be eating 3 almonds a day and expect to have this muscle. And take the manifestation part out of it. This is an example. I realize you can manifest muscle no matter what. You can manifest body change without making any physical changes. This is an example. You logically couldn't gain muscle mass by still eating the same way, right? You would need to add protein and lift weights, okay? Logically. So that's the same way as you can't do and think. You can't think the same things you think in unlucky state and expect to be in lucky state. It doesn't work. You can't get there. You can't force it. You have to think as the version of you that is already lucky. You have to think the same thoughts that you would think as you would in lucky state. So if you were lucky right now, if right now you were already the person who everything goes their way, if right now you were already the girl who could have anyone they want, what are the thoughts that you would think? Those are affirmations. People think affirmations are this this magical thing, which they are, but they're nothing more than thoughts. An affirmation is just a thought. Affirming is just thinking. So you are just selecting thoughts that you would have if you already were in this state. You have to think from the state to enter it. You have to think from the state to animate it. Okay? So if you now, sitting in unlucky state, would start thinking as the version of you that is lucky, you are going to then you're going to start experiencing things that prove that you are now lucky instead of unlucky. And that is how you enter the state. The way you stay in the state is by being consistent and, you keep thinking the thoughts as someone who is lucky and you don't let anything make you waver. So when we waver, what we do is we have our doubts, we entertain them, dwell in them, and then we fall back into the old state. But it doesn't matter because you can easily step right back into the new state. You check yourself, you're like, I'm lucky. And then you get back into lucky state. When you start thinking as the version of you that is lucky, you enter that state. And if you will be consistent, you will stay there and you will continue experiencing the life and the experiences of someone who is lucky rather than what you have previously experienced. And that is states. That's how states work. A state, and I will still say this in case there is anyone who still believes that states is a method. It's not a method. It's a location. A state is a reality. You can't use a reality as a method. A reality is something you enter into or you select. You are selecting a reality for yourself. A state is nothing more than a reality that comes with all new thoughts, feelings, and experiences. So when you're in unlucky state, right now you're probably currently experiencing, so you are attracting things that prove that you are unlucky. Be it every time you buy a lottery ticket, it's a loser. You always get stuck in traffic. You stub your toe all the time. You don't get the things that you want. anything that you would consider to be unlucky. You are allowing by being in this state. And by dwelling in this state, by consistently thinking that you are unlucky, by complaining, okay? You're in a negative, unlucky state. But when you start thinking as if you are lucky instead, and you're like, I am so lucky. I am so lucky. I am so lucky. Everything goes my way. I am so lucky. Everything goes my way. No matter all the shit that you've experienced over here. When you start thinking from this state, now, all of a sudden, you never stub your freaking toe. Never. It doesn't even go near a couch. It doesn't even go near a table or a chair leg. People are holding the door open for you. The roads are clear. You're getting free gifts. Like, you are just all of a sudden getting all these things. Every time you want something, you get it. And then the more these things happen, the more your thoughts change, the more your feelings change. You start feeling happier, because in an unlucky state, you feel down, you feel defeated, you feel like a loser, you feel like nothing goes your way, you feel negative, you have negative thoughts, you complain, then you have negative experiences. It's all this one big negative package, right? But then over here, you have this big positive package, because not only are you controlling your thoughts and thinking as the version of you that's lucky, then that's attracting experiences that cause you to think, wow, I am really lucky. And then you feel happier and you feel lucky, and it's all one big lucky, happy, positive package. And then you get used to it. And then that's when you stay in this state. And then once you have consistently stayed in this state and it becomes your dwelling state, that's where you stay. It becomes your like permanent home, basically, until you change your thoughts again. Then it's easy to just expect yourself to be lucky, because you've experienced it so many times and you've gotten so used to that thought and those feelings of being lucky and always getting the things that you want. Think about the person, like I'm sure everybody knows a person or knows of a person, even if it's online, that just everything goes their way, right? They're almost like spoiled brats. Like they literally get their way no matter what. Like they always get their way. They get everything they want. Their life is just absolutely perfect, right? I'm sure everybody can think of that person. It's because that's their belief. That's their expectation. Because once you have practiced thinking this way and then experienced it, and then your thoughts and your feelings all change and you've got the whole package deal going, it becomes a belief. That is where belief happens. It becomes a belief. It becomes an expectation. And then you don't even have to try anymore. That's just how it is, because you just expect things to always go your way. You expect to get the things that you desire. You expect for people to hold the door for you. You expect traffic to be clear. You know what I'm saying? That's a belief. A belief is something that you automatically expect. It's a self-reaffirming thought. You don't even have to try. But you can create any belief. But in my opinion, when manifesting, the experiences and the things that create a belief come first, and then you'll believe. But you will experience the manifestation first. I know that's so backwards compared to what everyone else says. Everyone else says you got to create the belief and then it'll manifest. That's never been my experience ever. I did not believe until after I had already experienced a manifestation consistently. And then I started believing and expecting it. So, sorry, but to me that's just wrong. You get the manifestation first and then it creates a belief because you have experienced it. So, that's states. That's all states is. That's all manifesting is. Manifesting is nothing more than thinking from the version of you that has the thing you want. So if you want to manifest anything, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how far off it feels or seems, or how it really just seems from where you're at, it can seem very impossible. But if you understand that if you could just change your thinking consistently, if you could just control your thoughts and just mentally pretend, okay? This is how I like to think of it. Mentally pretend to be the version of you that has the thing you want. So if you were starring in a movie and you were playing a character that has the thing that you want, right? What kind of thoughts would that person think? What kind of conversations would they have? How would they talk? How would they behave? How would this character be? What does this character look like to you? Do you know what I mean? As far as like their way of thinking and speaking to people, like in a conversation. So like we have the method of inner conversations. If you are wanting to manifest a lucky state, you could just literally hear someone saying to you, wow, you are literally so lucky. Because those are the types of things that version of you would experience, right? So create, if it seems so impossible and so far off, play a character. What would the character in that movie, so you're playing a character in a movie, and the character in the movie has everything you want. Pretend to be that character. Think as if you are that person. What kind of thoughts would this character have? Start thinking those over and over and over again. And then, when you're doing that, the repetition is going to create a habit in your mind. And you are going to start, because of the repetition, because of what you focus on, you're going to start experiencing it. You're going to enter that state, and you're going to start getting the experiences, the thoughts, and the feelings of that version of you. And now, all of a sudden, it doesn't feel so impossible anymore. It doesn't seem so impossible anymore. Because it's not. It's not. But get your foot in the door by playing the part, okay? That's the best way I can say to do it, is to pretend. Play pretend in your mind. Pretend in your mind that you have all these things already. And think about them all the time as if you already have them. I love having this. This is so easy for me. This always goes well for me. I have the best luck with relationships. Everything always goes my way. Whatever it is that you want, pretend in your mind that you are already that person as much as you can. And you will enter that state. And the more you stay in that state, and the more you experience the proof, the more you select these things in your mind, and you enter the state where they exist, and you enter the state where these are the types of things that happen for you, then you will believe. You will create the belief, and you will stay there. You can do this with anything, super small, overall life change. You can do it all. Appearance change, life change, relationship, job, success, school. Doesn't matter. Like I said, even as small as people always hold the door for me. I'm the kind of person that people always hold the door for. What kind of person are you? What kind of experiences do you have? Think as that person. Pretend to be that person in your head. You don't have to pretend to be that person out in the real world. You can do little things that make you feel like that person. But as far as like having to fully act as if or anything like that, you don't have to do any of that. But mentally pretend to be that version of you. You will become that. That will become your reality. You will enter that state. Okay? And things will unfold. Don't worry about how. Doesn't matter. All you have to do is think as the person that already has it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we out.